So in the last lecture we saw that in Python's list, the broadcasting operation is not possible, and the plus sign actually stands for catenation. Okay. So here when we actually catenate a list with a list, we cannot catenate an integer with a list, we have to catenate a list with a list. So this is the output. But see one thing, when I actually use like this way, a plus list 8, our original a has not changed. Okay, if I want to modify a, I have to assign it something like this. So a is equals to a plus, say for example 8. Okay, so now our original list has changed, 8 is appended to the list, so I have to perform this assignment operation. Now this assignment operation can be done in a different way in Python. So I can just write like this way, a plus equals to, say I want to add 9. Okay, so as you can see 9 is appended here. So this portion a equals to a plus can be written in short form like this way, a plus equals to. Okay. Now although the broadcasting operation cannot be done with Python's list, if we convert the list into a NumPy array, okay, then we can actually perform the broadcasting operation. Okay, it was shown in the last week's lecture. Okay, you can also try it by yourself. Now one other thing, so if I come here, say for example if I have a is equals to, say for example 2 comma 3. Okay, so if I use multiplication sign like this, so if I multiply it with an integer in MATLAB, it will return me like 5 multiplied by 10 and 15 like this way. But what will happen in Python? Okay, so this was like broadcasting, same broadcasting concept in MATLAB, but if I do the same thing in Python, okay, a multiple by say for example 2, so this is our original list. Take a look. What is happening here is that a copy of our original list actually appended with it. Okay, that means it is like the repmat operation. If you remember from your previous before meet, the repmat operation repeats the matrix and this number of times. So if I multiply with, say for example multiply 4, then the original list has been repeated 4 times. Okay, so this multiplication sign in Python's list actually means repeat the matrix. Okay, and there is another thing like length of a, if I want to see the length of the original list. Okay, so far we have seen some of the very basic things with Python's list. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the methods of on Python's list. Okay, to find those things you can write like this way, dir, directory of list. Okay, now so this is the output. Okay, don't worry about what is actually showing here for now. Okay, this is related to class that will be discussed later on. Okay, now just take a look at the last portion, these things. Okay, these are the methods that can be applied on a list. Okay, so the code that I wrote here, that is called, it is dir, directory of list. Okay, so using this you can see all the methods that are actually that can be performed on a list. Okay, so we'll look into that one by one. Now if you remember from your last week's preview, so I discussed that Python is actually a object oriented programming language. So when I have an object like a list object, so this a is a list object, when I perform a method on that list, the object will change, will mutate. Okay, so that is not same for all objects. Okay, let's take a look. Say for example if I perform a method, I like this way, a dot append. Okay, writing a method, this is written like this way, dot the name of the method, then what do I want to append. Okay, say for example I want to append 10. Okay, so this is our original list. If I do like this way, if I run this, as you can see our original list has changed. Okay, I didn't use the assignment sign here. Take a look, be careful about that. I didn't have to use any assignment sign here that a is equals to like this. No, I just perform this method on that list and 10 is appended with my list. Okay, let's say for example a dot append. If I do something like this, say for example 7 comma 1, So try to guess what will be the output, or what will the output look like. Okay, so if I perform like this, as you can see, a list is appended within my original list. Okay, 7,1, the whole list is appended, not the elements, individual elements are not appended, rather the whole list is appended. Okay, so append function, so just come here. So when I append, so I can append a particular element with the list using this function. Okay, element. Achha. So this is the append option. Now Achha, let's take a look at here. If I do something like this way, so guess what the b will take, what will be the value of b if I run it. So as you can see, when I perform this a.append operation, 5 is append, okay, with my original list, and the original list has changed, but I don't have anything in the b. Okay, b is now defined as a non-time object. So the equal sign like this is actually a bit different. It actually means something different in Python. Okay, I'll discuss about these things later on. Okay, so far just try to understand these things. Okay, so this was the append function and the append method that I have shown you. Now, so you may say that what if I want to, so this was the whole list was append was added within my original list. What if I want to add the individual elements directly? Okay, so if I want to do that, there is another function, as you can see here, that's called extend. Okay, so if I do something like this, a dot extend okay, now I want to extend, say for example 0, 1, 2. If I do like this, then the individual elements will be added within my original list. Okay, so as you can see now, 0, 1, 2, the original the individual elements are added. Okay, not the entire list. Okay, so these two options are here. So append, then extend. Okay, now let's again see. Okay, so then clear operation, you can try it by yourself also. A dot clear, if I perform this operation, a dot clear, okay, it will clear my original list. Okay, clear the entire list. Okay, so it is now a empty list. Okay, now let's define something like this. So this is our new list. Now let's try to perform some other operations with it. Okay, now say for example I want to insert something in my list. Okay, so previously we do something like this. A of, say for example 1, that means the second element. Okay, let's, in the second element, say for example I want to place something, say for example 8. String it. So as you can see, our original list has changed. Okay, it was originally 8,3. Now in the index 1 I have placed 8. Okay, this is the placing operation in a particular index. Now if I use this option, a dot insert, okay, so it means that where, you can see the suggestion here, first is the index, then the object. So say I want to insert at 1, in this position I want to insert 3. Okay, let's see what actually happens. Take a look at the output here. Okay, always keep a look at the output, variable explorer. As you can see, when I insert here, 3 is inserted in our index 1. Now try to take a look. My original list, in this position, the originally it was 8, but that is not deleted. Rather, in that location, one of the element is the object that I have written here, 3, that was inserted and the other objects, the other elements were actually shifted rightwards. Okay, so the insert operation does not delete anything, rather place something in a particular at a particular index. Okay, but this operation, so this operation like this a of eto, this actually deletes the original element. Okay, so this is another method. So extend, then this was the insert method. Okay, now you can actually take a look at this by yourself. Okay, let me show you some other thing. So there is another one that is called pop. Okay, so what will happen if I perform this pop operation? So a dot pop. Okay, so by default it will pop out the last element. The last element is uk, but take a look what happens with the original list. Okay, so the last element is popped out uk, but our original list, that element has actually deleted, that element is removed. That means when I'm performing this method on my object, that's the list object, the last element is shown an output, but the original list has changed, mutated like this way. Okay, now say for example if I write like this way, a dot pop say 1. Okay, what will happen? So 1 is the index, so the element in the index 1, that is 3, will be popped out, that will be given, and the original, that the element in that position will be deleted. Okay, so as you can see 3 is deleted and 3 is actually popped out. Like this way the pop operation works. Okay, so try to keep a look at these methods, so that when you are actually when you are working with the different problems, so these methods will come in very handy. Okay, so this was the insert, then this was the pop element, pop operation. We also saw clear operation. Now previously here we actually saw something. If I wanted to remove an item, we use this delete sign, the delete built-in function, del, delete, and an element from that index was deleted. Okay, so here you can see there is another function that is called remove. Okay, if I write a dot remove, say for example if I want to remove something from position 2, 0, 1, 2, this a, so see what happens. As you can see, text not in list, that means the remove operation actually takes an index. So sorry, the remove operation does not take an index, rather it takes an element. What element I want to remove from the list? Okay, so I have to do something, a dot remove a. Okay, only then, so that element is removed. Okay, so the remove operation takes an item from the list, which item I want to remove, and the del operation takes the index. Okay, so then I have remove, okay, item. Okay, so like this way. Now so far you can actually try to take a look at all of those things. Count will count the element that you want to count, how many times a particular element actually appeared. Okay, then you have sort. If you want to sort something, if you want to sort the list, then you can use that. Okay, you can use the reverse to reverse the list. Okay, like this way. So let me show you one other thing. Okay, so for example if I do a dot count, okay, which element, the value I want to count, say for example 8, I want to count 8. So as you can see the 8 actually appeared 2 times, that is the count. Now let's say a dot extend. Okay, so I have extended list and I want to sort it. Okay, so if I sort it, a dot sort, as you can see it actually takes key is one of the parameter of this method, and that is reverse equals to false. Okay, what does that actually mean? Okay, so let's do it first like this way, a dot sort. Let's see what actually happens. As you can see our original list is sorted in a ascending manner. Okay, the list is ascending. If I do like this way, a dot sort, and like reverse is equals to true, by default it was false, so I did not have to write it. Okay, so if I write reverse equals to true, as you can see it has sorted in the descending manner. Okay, so I hope this is clear about the methods of this list.